So I'm going to launch into the wheel proper, so to speak. Um, in other words, the directions around it. We've been talking about the center of the medicine wheel. It's chaotic heart, chaos in the sense of that mystery out of which our experience is always unfolding. Our thoughts, our feelings, where do they come from? We don't know. Why are we here? What's the universe about? How did it begin? How will it end? Where did life come from? All these are unknowable. All of these are unanswerable. And we live from that mystery. And the purpose of the wheel is to keep bringing us back to that, because that's when we're centered. We know who we are when we know nothing, and that we can know nothing. We can't know at any rate with the rational mind. But we can have something that can't be put into words. It's like, yeah, we know. We know that we're part of this whole shebang, this whole universe. We kind of know. We're connected. We feel it. I reckon that's what happens after we die. We get connected to all of that. We remember. It's like, oh yes, of course, of course. Why did I think I was separate? So we will now unfold it into the four aspects in which it gets unfolded: fire, earth, air, and water, north, south, east, and west. Here's a wheel that I've got a picture up of. Can you see that? It's actually got 8 of them. Yeah, and it's in my garden. But you just need 4 stones, one in each direction. You don't need to paint them or anything, and just have them somewhere. Maybe in your garden, maybe on your table, maybe you take it down sometimes. But it's good to have it as a sort of reference point. It becomes a symbol. It gets in you. It carries your dream. I felt I had that for a while when I was sort of in a caravan for a while. I had a medicine wheel outside, yeah, on the grass. And it was just like carrying my life forward. I didn't quite know how it was going to go, but I could feel it was carrying the dream of my life. So the medicine wheel can do that. It can be your whole life. But without further ado, let's go on to specifics. Because what I want to talk about is each direction, or rather each element in turn, and how to bring them into balance, what they're about, beginning with the east, beginning with the sun, beginning with fire, because that's where things begin. And I want this to be experiential. If you're going to follow this, maybe try and do it experientially. Yeah. So have your little wheel somewhere. Experience the sun. The sun's just come out just now as I'm talking. Go outside, experience it. Yeah. Let it just heat your face. Okay, nothing might go through your mind and you might not have any great insights, but you are connecting to an ancient symbol, yeah? An ancient reality. A symbol doesn't just stand for something, it is the thing. It is life. It is new life. That's what the East is. That's what fire is. It's the new life in us that's always bubbling up. Yeah. It's that aspect of us. So there's that to be connected with. It's always there. It's in the nature of life to be always moving on. It doesn't stand still. It's always unfolding into the next stage. I mean, the next stage might be death, but that isn't necessarily less life. It's just life in a way that we don't necessarily understand. Yeah, because we're on this kind of package holiday with a sort of, here's what you're going to be doing sort of thing. I feel like that sometimes. It's designed for our lives. So the sun is all that level of things, and it's initiation. So there's all sorts of things we can talk about here. I don't know how long I'm going to go on for. It might be longer than 10 minutes because TikTok, which was determining the length of these, has just lifted its limit from, I don't know how long to. It's saying 3 gigabytes or 2 gigabytes. I don't know what that translates into. But I'll just see what I do. This is chaos shamanism after all. And the best way to teach and to talk is to keep spontaneous and do it as it feels right. The sun. So get out there in the sun. Experience the sun. It's ancient. There's an ancient power to it. It will speak through you. It will feed you. You're paying attention to that new life in you. And it's so important to do that because, of course, we get caught up in the everyday, just keeping life going. Life can just be about survival. It's maybe a luxury to think in terms of creating and bringing in the new. It's like, look, I'm just trying to put bread on the table. I'm just trying to make sure I can pay the next gas bill. Fair dues. I'm trying to get the kids off to school. Fair dues. Yeah. But however much there is of that, there's always the new life. There's always there's a trickle of that, and you need to remain with that feeling, with that trickle. You may not be able to do an awful lot of it. It may be just your ordinary life may have that trickle of new life. You may have young kids, and you're watching them grow, and you're keeping them growing. That is the new life. It can be that. It might be a new job that you're in, so it may be coming out through the ordinary, or it may not be. And if the ordinary is needs must the same, then you need to find it one way or another. Yeah. I don't mean probably, I mean start inwardly. Yeah. What is it in you that you want to live? Yeah. That you would love to be doing. Yeah. Or that you have to do. Often we're on this kind of path because there's something we have to do. It's the daemon. The daemon comes in from the sun, from the east as well. So think about that in your life. What do I have to do? It can be good to look back on your life as well. Look back on what's done it for you during the course of your life. Yeah. What did it for you when you were a kid? What gave you that sense of magic and wonder and openness and imagination, adventure, excitement? It's all those kinds of qualities that are in the fire of the sun. What did it for you when you were a kid? What did it for you as a teenager? What did it for you in your early 20s? And so on. Maybe write it all down and look at the connecting thread. You'll see there's this bigger design that's been unfolding all the time. Even though you responded, you did it. Yeah. You look back and you realize, oh, there was this bigger thing all the time. So trace your life back in those sorts of terms. Yeah. Come to know yourself. Yeah. To take that side seriously. Yeah. Because society at large doesn't necessarily take it seriously. Why would it? It's not the job of society at large to take it seriously. Its job is to make sure that we're safe and that we're prosper. Yeah. That's what it's there for. And that we think in such a way that that will happen. And so, yeah, we can feel a bit railroaded by that. And that, I never had it affirmed and all the rest of it. Well, no. And your parents might not have done either. It's not their job. Their job is to just get you out there functioning and living when you grow up. And they'll give you the ideas that they think you need. Well, there's probably something in it for them as well. They might need you to be something. But anyway, all of that, yeah, you need to just claim it, yeah, and take it seriously. And if you look back in your life, you'll see when you were happiest, when you were fulfilled, is when you were doing whatever that thing was at the time. I had a big thing at the beginning of this year. It's like writing was no longer enough. I'd written books. I was doing regular posts for Twitter and Facebook. Something in me was going a bit mad. And I realized I had to speak. But there's something in me that comes out when I speak that is needed. Yeah, that doesn't come out when I write. Because when someone writes, you don't get a sense and you can get it wrong because you don't know where they're coming from. So something else comes through. And it is like a daemon because it was driving me mad. It's those things that drive you mad when you don't do them. That's the daemon. And it's ruthless. It may well sacrifice things. Yeah. Kierkegaard, I think, had to sacrifice his marriage. He had to just leave it. The daemon demanded it. That can happen. It's not interested necessarily in our happiness, but we will do the thing we know we're meant to be doing. We will have meaning, and that's what matters. Yeah, we're doing that thing that we know we should be doing, and that's the sun.